In this video, we will be covering ideas on how to lay out your garden. Hello and welcome to another lifeonourhomestead.com gardening video. My name is John, and if this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow a successful garden, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell icon so you don't miss anything. In our last videos, we have done our homework on identifying growing conditions and plant selection. In this video, we will cover laying out your garden. We need to get on the computer for this, so let's get started. The program I'm using is the online Grow Veg Garden Planner. This is a paid service, about $20 a year, and I like using it and find value in the service to keep track of my garden plots. It helps in crop rotation and the convenience of an online service I can access from home, work, and my phone. What I will show you can easily be done in an Excel or Google Spreadsheets format, or even graph paper. The first step is to identify your total area of your garden. If this is your first time gardening, I suggest starting small, then increase in size as you go throughout the years. Starting too big, too fast can be frustrating to the new gardener. Next, you want to identify any structures around your garden. This could be fences, your home, and sheds. This is not only good for landmarks, but also to identify how these structures affect the sun and wind in your garden. Knowing this can help you plan for the right plant in the right place. You can always leverage the shaded areas to protect some vegetables from the hot afternoon-evening sun. Or if you get a common heavy northern wind, a fence can provide some wind protection. If you plan to do traditional row gardening, you will need to lay out your rows 18 to 36 inches apart, depending on the vegetable. However, for backyard gardening, elevated beds or box gardening provides many advantages over row gardening. I prefer the box gardening for several reasons. I was able to bring in new good soil for the boxes, the vegetables are elevated and easier to work, and lastly, it provides a definitive structure and organization to my growing space. For container or elevated bed gardening, there are only 4 simple guidelines, and the rest can be left up to your creativity and unique garden layout needs. First, you should never have to reach in more than 2 feet to work the box. If you have more than 2 foot reach, you will find yourself stepping in the box and compacting the soil. So if you can access both sides of the box, you want to be no more than 4 feet wide. Second guideline is your boxes should be no longer than 8 feet. The reason for this is anything longer than 8 feet and you will find yourself wanting to take a shortcut through the box versus walking around the box. Now, an exception to this suggestion is if your box is up against a fence. In this case, there is no ability to get to the other side of the box, so you can make the box as long as desired. This makes a great border for your backyard grass. Third guideline is to provide at least 2 feet of space all the way around the box. Anything less and it is difficult to work the box. Fourth and last guideline is to provide at least a 4-foot space on any one side of the box. This increased space is used to provide wheelbarrow access or garden cart access to the box. Without this access, when it comes time to fill the boxes or replenish them with compost, you will have to hand carry the soil. Save your back and provide at least 4 feet of access to each box. Now that we have these guidelines, let's lay out a simple garden plot. Our most common box is the 4-foot by 8-foot box. This meets the guidelines of our reach being no more than 2 feet and our boxes no longer than 8 feet. Let's place a few of these in the garden plot. Notice the spacing is 2 feet between the box, giving space to walk around the box. Now we get down to the bottom of the garden plot, and there's not enough room for another 8x4 box. So we will put in what will fit. In this case, it is a 4x4 box. Now I have my first row of boxes. I will duplicate that to the next row. And when appropriate, I will give 4 feet of space between rows to allow for cart access. Now I will add another 2 rows, alternating the spacing between 2 feet and 4 feet, allowing cart access to at least one side of each box. I'm here at the end and there's not enough room for another row of boxes. This side also has a fence, so in this case I will put 2-foot boxes and run the length of the garden plot. Now on the other side I have a few sheds, so I'll run 2-foot boxes. The length of the sheds provide more border boxes. In the area where there are not sheds, I will follow the guideline of no greater than 8 feet in length. You can always create various size boxes to fit what is unique in your garden. Just remember the 4 guidelines. I like having a variety of 8x4, 4x4, 2x4, and 2x6 and border boxes. When designing your boxes, try your best to maximize your growing space and minimize your path space. Doing all 4x4 boxes and you will have as much walking space as growing space. 4x8 boxes gives better ratio to the growing versus walking space. One good idea is to name your boxes. I like to give them a row and column designation, so when you are creating your garden plan, you can reference the box more easily. In the next video, we will cover creating your garden plan. So here you can see each box has a unique designation. The last part is the fun part of placing your vegetable plants in your box. The Grow Veg program makes this a very easy task since the spacing guidelines are already built in. Here I have laid out some common vegetables in the boxes. Some large plants such as pumpkins, watermelons, and squash, you will get 1 mound per 4-foot box. Tomatoes, cucumbers, tomatillos, zucchini, you can get 2 rows to a box. Peppers and garlic, you can get 3 rows to a box. Small plants such as radishes, carrots, you can get 4 rows to a box. Now your homework is to lay out your garden by using something like Grow Veg Planner, a spreadsheet, or even simply on graph paper. Then identify what plants you will put in each row or box. If you want to learn more about how to grow a successful garden, start now by hitting the subscribe icon so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for watching. Now go enjoy your garden, and I'll see you next time.